Let's go look at the castle! Yeah! I know, I'm a nerd.
It's okay. We got it.
She's gonna go back in time and fall in love with a Scotsman. Whoopsies.
So this was a poor user flow. It's gonna be muddy.
It's gonna be mudtastic.
Hey there, travelers. I'm Eliz from Means to Travel. My husband Derek and I are college sweethearts and share a passion for exploring the globe.
After so much change for us in 2020, we decided to take a giant leap and rent out our home in Chicago for some extended travel. This series chronicles our 3-month stay in the United Kingdom.
Over the next several episodes in this series, we embarked on one of Britain's most epic road trips, the North Coast 500.
On our drive, we circle around the northern coast of mainland Scotland for over 2 weeks and 500 miles. Throughout the journey, we explored historic castles, coastal caves, windy cliffs, small port villages, and loads more.
So come along as we explore this breathtaking corner of Britain. In the last episode, we drove from Dornoch to Wick, scoped out Loch Fleet Nature Reserve, met some new animal friends, strolled along Golspie's Beach, explored Dunrobin's Castle grounds, hiked the Wallago Steps, and settled into our Wick Airbnb.
In this episode, we braved some very muddy trails near our home base in Wick to check out Neolithic standing stones, the Grey Cairns of Camster, and hike along the cliffs of Noss Head to the beautiful ruins of Castle Sinclair, overlooking the sea.
What's up, travelers? It's Eliz
And Derek
from Means to Travel, and today we are on day 3 of our North Coast 500 road trip through the north of Scotland. And right now we are standing in the Wick area, which is where we stayed last night, the town of Wick, which is just south of John O'Groats. And we're going to be doing a few things around this area today. So Derek's going to tell you a little bit more.
We are exploring the history of Scotland through the Highlands, so we are going to see everything from Neolithic standing stones and round circles to Iron Age brochs.
What's a broch?
To ruined castles. So, brochs, there's one right here.
There's one.
It's kind of jutting off there. It's a ruin, obviously. It would have been much taller in the past. But a broch is basically an advanced roundhouse structure that archaeologists have kind of gone back and forth on. It was very advanced construction around like the 1st century AD and BC. And they are distinctly Scottish. They're only found here. And the largest concentration is here in Caithness, but also in Orkney and Shetland, there's a lot of them as well. So these things are stone structures that could have been mansions, they could have been defensive towers, castles, a lot of different things. There's one here, this is the Ragnog Broch. We're on Loch Ragnog, which is also part of the flow country.
I'm gonna flow this around so you guys can see it. It's beautiful. These are wetlands, right?
Yeah, so these are basically wetlands. These are bogs, peat bogs that have really great properties. A lot of birds nest here. There's a lot of stuff that happens, a lot of nature, and it's very important because they're actually rather rare. Scotland has 15% of the world's these types of bogs.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that it is really helpful for greenhouse gases in this area.
Yeah, so it's great for capturing like CO2 emissions and things like that. So super important.
Super important for the environment, which we're all for. All right, so this was a really cool first stop on our 3rd day here, and we're gonna go to another spot around Wick next. So let's go.
Let's go.
Hi, so we have driven about 2 minutes down the road from the first stop, and we're at the second stop, and it's called Achavanich Stone Circle. That's probably it. It sounds so authentic.
Gaelic.
Yeah, if you speak Gaelic, tell us if we're right. But yeah, so for those of you who've heard of Stonehenge, I'm sure you're super familiar with stone circles. There's actually many, many stone circles all over the UK. So we went to one earlier on this trip in the Lake District.
Called Castle Rig. Very cool.
Yeah, and now we're at another one up in the very, very north of Scotland.
Achavanich.
And we're going to go explore it and just try to take some quick video for you guys because it is definitely raining. It's going to be muddy.
Yeah, it's going to be mudtastic.
All right, let's go. I'm heading over right now to read the plaque before hitting the stone circle, but oh my gosh, you guys, this is just like wet.
Whoopsies. Ooh. I shouldn't have done that, guys. Got some water in my shoe. Didn't think it was that deep. So one of the things about this spot in particular is that it is in an odd arrangement, which people have commented on, and nobody knows exactly why it was done this way. But yes, this is a Neolithic site. So this stone circle could date back like 5,000 years, which makes the last place at only 2,000 years old kind of new.
Okay, so if I touch it, does it mean that I don't have to be in 2020 anymore?
Oh God, she's gonna go back in time and fall in love with a Scotsman. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Whew. I was holding my breath there. I was like getting nervous. No. All of a sudden, bagpipes start playing.
That would be cool. Oh, that would be even more atmospheric.
All right, we're gonna go explore something else. We're not sure what it is, but it looks cool. Ooh. Guys, once again, waterproof shoes in Scotland, a must.
It's so soggy.
All right. Made it. Probably spoke too soon. Oh no. Spoke a little too soon. All right. Ta-da! I made it. All right. Big pile of stones. Not sure what this place is. Kind of cool. With a standing stone in it. It's a great view. The good news is there are some footholes. Just in case I fall.
I'm giving it a 50-50.
Kind of like over the tall grass grows. Bad.
Now you gotta do it in a kilt. Alright. So bad. Was it worth it?
It's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is though. It looks like it's just like a sandstone with like a bunch of rocks around it, but I don't know if it used to be a cairn or what it was.
Yeah. Remind everybody what's a cairn.
Cairn is a burial chamber from the Neolithic time, which would be the same time as the standing stones, roughly. But unfortunately, there's not like plaques around saying like what's what. So,
Well, the plaques are only at the standing stone area.
yeah, and they're not like, and around the area, here's the cool stuff. They
Right.
kind of talk about like Yarrow Barrow, which is like a couple miles away and stuff like that.
Well, on to the next.
On to the next place.
Also, just a quick tip for you guys is if you're staying at a hotel or an Airbnb and you're doing these kinds of like into the mud sort of excursions like we're doing, it's super nice to take off your shoes like at the front door and just leave them at the front. Don't even like bring them into the property, just to make sure you're not like getting the Airbnb's carpet dirty or anything like that. So basically you have to like step right into the mud in order to get through this gate. No getting around it. Trying not to though. And then there's more mud. Do you think Cliff made friends with that standing stone?
What if we came back and Cliff went through time?
Then we'd have a long walk ahead.
All right, guys, so we are about to take off to our next location, but real quick, what makes these standing stones so unique isn't so much that they're in a horseshoe pattern, but that they're actually arranged with the centers facing outward and not in towards the center of the circle, which is what they typically are if you think of Stonehenge. So, interesting. As you know, we don't have a lot of time when the sun is up. So rather than like stopping at a place to eat, we eat on the road. This video is sponsored by the Ham and Cheese Sandwich Lobby.
We've been eating so many. And kettle chips. Just kidding. Kettle chips, if you want to sponsor us though, we eat you every day. Oh yeah, I also eat ham and cheese sandwiches every day. Don't worry guys. For our next stop, we decided to explore some ancient burial cairns, or kens, which Derek just explained.
Okay guys, we are at the Grey Cairns of Camster, and these are Neolithic, so like 5,000 years old, and they are burial mounds that the indigenous people would have made for ancestors to be housed in, and where they would go to connect with their ancestors. It's so cool. These have been kind of like, I don't want to say rebuilt, but they have been heavily modified by Historic Scotland in terms of making them safe and educational. And in most times you can actually go inside the cairns, which is super cool. Unfortunately, they're closed right now, I think because of the pandemic. So we can't go inside, but we can still walk around, see them, and get a little bit of history, which I love.
And watching our step along the way, because man, is this a slippery path.
Yeah, this path is super slippery. I almost bit it the second we got out here. It's
I just kind of slipped a little.
we're, you know, one of us might bite it. We don't know by the end of it. So this is the round cairn. And you can pause it if you want to read this.
Hello, is anybody in there? So I'm gonna use the camera on our phone that we have the UK SIM card in, so that way we can use cell phone service to see inside. This is
We probably don't have a lot of service.
yeah.
This might be
It
anticlimactic.
says no service at all.
Ah.
So this was a poor user flow and user experience, but I understand the rationale for it. So I think what we could do is take a picture of it.
All right, you're not going to really be able to see much in there, but as you can kind of see,
Stick that GoPro right in me.
let's hope that this thing don't fall. It goes quite a bit of ways in there. All right, let's go check out the other ones real quick.
A long walk right now because of how slow I have to go and how slippery it is. It's actually not as bad on this part as it is over here, so be careful.
She said right
I
before
know,
she bit
I'm
it.
probably jinxing myself. There's a friend waiting for us though.
And the sun came out.
As you all can see, we're the only ones here, as is typical at all of these sites.
That might be because everybody else knew that this place was closed, but you know, whatever. To be fair, I did. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay, also there's sheep doo-doo.
There's a lot of scat. Scat. You can tell the days are getting shorter because look how long my shadow is.
It is really long, that's it. And it's, what, like 1 p.m.?
1 p.m. I'll tell you what, this feels beautiful though. Eliz has found another sheep friend.
Hey.
He's like, get me away from her.
I never actually like pet the livestock that we do see. We see a lot when we're in these rural areas all throughout the UK. But I just make sure to kind of leave them alone and give a little bit of distance just for safety reasons, but also, you know, it's somebody's sheep, so I don't want to just like run up to it. It could still kind of be a wild animal too. Another reason, and I especially am conscious of this when it comes to cattle, but sheep would be the same way, is when you fill out the forms to re-enter the US, you have to say if you've been in contact with livestock, and I don't want to have to lie about that, and I don't want to have to say yes. So yeah, we try to make sure to be very honest about that so we don't get in contact with the livestock.
How freaky would it have been if I'd stuck this in and someone grabbed it?
I would have ran.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, sir.
Oh.
Yep, okay. Hi.
He's stuck. He's so scared. Oh
All right.
my God, he's stuck and he's scared.
You want out, buddy? I'm not gonna hurt you. You can.
Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. He's stuck and he's scared of us. Go ahead. You're still eating. There's like a piece of grass in your mouth. Oh.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, there's another guy. Hi. You're cute. It's okay, you can go too. Go ahead. It's okay. You got it. Yeah. I feel like that one understood me.
Watch, this is when I find the ram. Alright. All the sheep are out.
This might be the first place that we're not the only people here today. Okay guys, we've made it to stop number 4.
Who's counting?
Who's counting today on our road trip around Wick, and it's Castle Sinclair Girnigoe.
Girnigoe in Caithness. So this used to be the house seat, the county seat, or whatever of the Earls of Caithness.
Yeah,
which is the Sinclair family, the Sinclair clan.
And just so you guys know, we're not talking about that awesome lighthouse behind us, but we're talking about a ruined castle that we're going to go find. Okay, we got the gate to work. So now we start on this muddy walk. Make sure you bring shoes and appropriate clothing for walks in Scotland. All right, what do we got here?
This says it might have appeared in the 17th century.
And it's right on the sea, so we gotta just walk over the ocean. Let's go. Wow, this is so pretty. But I just wanted to show you guys really quickly this map of the bay that we're looking at here. And what I thought was most interesting was all the way here at the end, because it's such a clear day, it says that there's this island that I can just make out far in the distance is part of the Orkney Islands. And I've never been that far north. I've never been to the Orkney Islands, but it's so cool that I can see them from here. So that's what we are looking at right there. I'm such a scaredy cat when it comes to this stuff. I can't get super close to the edge because I'm just worried about like it being the day that this part also becomes a stack like this. So I let Derek do kind of his brave photography work closer to the edge. Man, is it pretty. I'm not gonna lie about that. But ooh, I mean, at some point something fell into the ocean to make that look so beautiful.
Castle! Yeah! I know, I'm a nerd. History! Woohoo! Castle Sinclair is actually in the process of being, there's restoration work being done by the Sinclair clan foundation. And when it's done, what's really neat about this is it's going to be one of the very few castles in Scotland, ruined castles, that's going to be handicap accessible. So it's pretty neat.
Hey guys, so yet again we have a castle all to ourselves. This one might be my favorite so far. It's a ruined castle like we said before, so you just kind of have to piece it together. There's plaques around that talk to you about the history and what it probably used to look like. So let's go check it out. Starting with this super cool bridge. Let's go. This is Sinclair Castle, which makes sense that it would be a Sinclair Bridge. This stone was unveiled by His Royal Highness the Prince Charles, Duke of Rothesay, patron of the clan Sinclair Trust, on August 1st, 2005, to commemorate the first phase of restoration works of the castle. Nice that they have the plaques inside too, because we were reading a bunch of as we were approaching. And this is what they are really reconstructing. That's what has all the scaffolding and stuff. And somebody left a ladder in there. I don't know if you guys can see it as well. Just a regular old ladder being left in there. Wow, is this muddy. Okay, let's see if I can get around a little bit of the sogginess. Oh, there's another plaque down here. That's exciting. They have like the entire mansion all laid out for us here. Can you believe somebody built their house on these stones? It's absolutely beautiful. What does it say?
Toilets.
Just like you guessed. You guessed that this corner thing was a loo, and he was right, apparently, according to the architectural blueprint that they give. What's the room that you're standing in?
This would have been the steward's house.
Okay.
We kind of ran the day-to-day.
There's no "you are here"?
No, sadly. I think there would be, actually.
We're leaving Sinclair Castle, going
awesome.
over the bridge. I mean, yeah, it is awesome.
All right, if you're doing the NC500, do not just blow past Wick on your way to John O'Groats. Definitely come here and stop at this castle because it's lovely.
Yeah, and there's only one other couple with their dog here that showed up towards the end. So we had it all to ourselves for a little while, and it was beautiful. We had great views looking at it, great views in it, got to learn a lot about the history of the Sinclairs in this area. So yeah, highly recommend. All right, we're gonna head back to the car now on this long and muddy path. But man, could these views be any prettier? I don't think so.
Tomorrow's route is going to take us right up along this road, past a lot of brochs, some locks, and some castles. We're going to go all the way up here to John O'Groats, which will then mean that we're end-to-enders, because we will have gone from Land's End in Cornwall all the way to John O'Groats in the north of Scotland. We're almost there!
We're taking our good sweet time. We're almost there.
It's been like a month or a month and a half, I don't know.
So I hope you guys really love this day of our North Coast 500 road trip.
I know it was a little bit heavy on the history, but I'm a nerd like that.
We loved exploring all these different sites around Wick. We're so glad that we decided to spend 2 nights in the area before going to John O'Groats tomorrow. So we are enjoying this beautiful sunset and sheep.
This beautiful
Behind
November
us.
sunset at 3:45.
Yeah, it is like 3:45
Yeah.
p.m. But you do have to be aware of that and be aware of the time and make sure that you budgeted enough time to stop at all your stops if you're coming this time of year, because there is only like 8 hours of daylight.
Yep.
Anyway, we are really enjoying exploring this northern part of Scotland and hope you are liking following along with us. If you are, press that like button down below for this video, and also don't forget to press that red subscribe button so that way you don't miss any of our other travel videos to come. Thanks everybody for watching. Cheers, happy travels.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we've made it to the next stop now on our road trip around Wick.
Yes, we did. It's Castle Sinclair Girnigoe. Girnigoe? Girnigoe. Wow.
That's exciting. Holy cow. I almost just fell. I know I'm still in 2020. Now I feel like I need to use hand sanitizer. Let's go track down. All right, see you there. We'll open this.
Campster, rhymes with hamster. Okay, guys, we are at the Grey Cairns of Camster.
Standing stones, wait for me. Just kidding, all they do is stand still. Hey travelers, don't forget to subscribe and let's hang out more. Here are some links to other helpful travel videos on my channel, and press that notification bell so you don't miss any new and awesome travel videos to come.